Most of us have been there. We try to change our lives by setting these big goals. We tell ourselves, okay, I'm going to lose weight. I'm going to make more money. I'm going to wake up earlier. And most of us fail. But what if the problem isn't the goal itself? What if it's the whole approach? We're so focused on changing our results when we should be changing our identity.
So why do they fail, really? Well, it's because we're basically attacking the problem from the outside in. We see something we don't like, the number on the scale, the balance in our bank account, and we try to fix that. But see, the result is just a symptom. The real cause, that's our identity. It's the person we believe we are, deep down. And that identity is built, brick, by our daily habits.
And right here, this is the crucial difference. The results-focused person says, I really want to lose 20 pounds. But the identity-focused person, they say, I am a fit and healthy person. See the shift? One is a temporary target, the other is a whole new identity. And to build that new identity, it really comes down to one thing: mental discipline.
To really get how powerful this is, let's look at one of the most extreme examples on the planet, David Goggins. But before he became this icon of mental toughness, he was someone you probably wouldn't even recognize.
Look at this. This was his reality. He was nearly 300 pounds. He was battling depression. He was working a dead-end, low-paying pest control job. He was, by his own account, at the absolute bottom. And this is so important because his story isn't about being born some kind of hero. It's about a regular guy who made a conscious decision to forge a brand new identity completely from scratch.
So, one day, he sees a documentary on the Navy SEALs and he makes a decision. Not just to get motivated, but to decide who he was going to become. And the first piece of evidence for that new identity? He lost over 100 pounds in just 3 months so he could even qualify for the training. This wasn't just a diet, people. This was an act of mental warfare against his old self.
And this right here just brilliantly illustrates the new identity he hammered into place. He went on to complete Hell Week with stress fractures in his legs, and later, just for good measure, he attempted a world record by doing 4,030 pull-ups. His transformation was never, ever about physical talent. It was about one thing, and one thing only: learning to control his mind instead of letting it control him.
This quote is really the core of his entire philosophy. But what's absolutely incredible is that this exact same idea wasn't invented in some modern gym or by some life coach. Nope, it was actually being taught on the streets of Athens over 2,000 years ago.
So let's jump in our mental time machine and go all the way back to ancient Greece. Because over 2,400 years ago, the philosopher Socrates was teaching the exact same principle: that true strength, real strength, begins with mastering your own mind.
Socrates had this belief that most of us are living as prisoners. Prisoners to our own impulses, our fears, our constant desire for comfort. So what did he do? He actively trained his mind. He lived with almost no possessions, he would purposely endure harsh conditions, and he was constantly questioning his own thoughts and beliefs. He knew that the mind has to be trained just like a muscle. Because here's the thing, this is the mind's default setting. If you just leave it untrained, it will always drift towards the easiest path. It's going to choose distraction over focus, comfort over effort, and avoidance over confrontation. Here's a hard truth. If you don't discipline your mind, it will discipline you through fear, laziness, and a whole lot of self-doubt.
And what's so cool is that modern science actually proves this ancient wisdom is 100% true. There's this concept called neuroplasticity. All it means is that your brain isn't fixed in stone. It physically changes based on your repeated thoughts and actions. So every single time you push through discomfort, you're not just getting a task done. You are literally, physically rewiring your brain, building stronger pathways for discipline and for resilience.
Okay, so we've got the modern warrior and the ancient philosopher telling us the exact same thing. But how do we actually do it? What's the one single habit that can forge this new identity we're talking about?
This is it. This is the whole thing right here. The single most powerful habit for transforming who you are. Daily, voluntary discomfort. It just means choosing, every single day, to do something your mind doesn't want to do.
And look, this doesn't have to be running an ultramarathon. It can be so simple. Taking a cold shower when you want a warm one. Doing 1 hour of focused work with your phone in another room. Finishing your workout when your body is screaming to quit. Or just waking up the very first time your alarm rings. Every single one of these tiny choices is like casting a vote for a stronger identity.
Because the point of all this isn't to punish yourself. Not at all. It's to teach your mind a vital lesson over and over and over again until it becomes second nature. You are in charge. Not your fleeting emotions, not your lazy impulses, and definitely not your craving for comfort. You are.
Okay, so let's make this real. Let's turn this from just a cool idea into an actual action plan. Here are the mental tools you're going to need to start your own transformation, like today.
Let's start with David Goggins' famous 40% rule. It's a really simple but profound idea. When your mind is screaming at you, telling you you're exhausted, that you can't possibly do any more, you are probably only at about 40% of your actual capacity. Your mind quits long before your body ever does.
See, your mind's job is to keep you safe, and it's wired to equate discomfort with danger. But all of your growth, everything you want, lives on the other side of that feeling. Every time you push past that 40% signal, you are literally retraining your brain. You're establishing authority over your own thoughts and proving to yourself that you can handle way more than you thought.
Now, let's bring Socrates back into the picture. He believed that discipline has to be guided by self-awareness. So ask yourself this right now. What are my daily habits actually building? Are they shaping a character that I truly admire?
And you got to be honest with yourself on this one. As you go through your day, who's really in the driver's seat? Are you making conscious, deliberate decisions about where to put your focus and energy? Or are you just kind of reacting to impulses, notifications, and distractions?
This might be the most important question of all. When you look at the sum of all your daily actions, all those little choices, all those votes you cast, do they add up to a person that you would genuinely respect and look up to?
Because ultimately, this is the choice. This is the choice we all face every single day. The undisciplined mind will always default to comfort, and it's going to keep you exactly where you are right now. But the disciplined mind, the one you build through voluntary discomfort, that is the only tool that can create a truly great life.
So your biggest obstacle isn't your motivation. It's an untrained mind. You don't need 10 new habits or a complicated life plan. You just need one commitment: daily, voluntary discomfort. Train your mind to obey your decisions. I want you to try it for 30 days. You won't just change your habits, you'll change who you are.